Chairman, we have quorum.
Thank you. It is 5:02, and I'm calling this meeting to order.
Roll call. Chairman Anker Jensen.
Here.
Vice Chairman Dr. Joe Hinojosa.
Present.
Treasurer Gerardo Gonzalez. Secretary Liliana Elizondo.
Present.
Board Member Frank Orozco Jr.
Present.
Board Member Ana Ocuin.
Present.
Board Member Benjamin Peña.
Here.
For the record, Treasurer Gerardo Gonzalez is absent at the moment. Public comment period. There was one public comment registered, Chairman.
Let's go to it.
Commissioner Linda Macias.
Linda Macias. Okay. Lifelong Bronzeville resident, mother, concerned citizen. And I wanted to share with you a quick story. Back in 2018, I purchased my dream home. And I was 26 at the time, and what I decided to do was I was going to introduce myself to my neighborhood. I was gonna knock on every door, let them know who their neighbor was, get to learn about them, and whatever they needed, they knew that they can count on this neighbor. Unexpectedly, I found myself not only getting to know about them, but about their life. And in the first house that I knocked on, it was a retired teacher, as well as a retired federal agent, who had 2 children, a son and a daughter who had to move to San Antonio because of lack of economic opportunity in Bronzeville. The second home that I went to, it was a retired veteran along with his wife, who was a stay-at-home mom, who also had 2 daughters and had to leave to Austin due to lack of economic opportunity. The third house, same thing, retired teachers, and they ended up having a daughter who moved to San Antonio. The fourth house, their children ended up moving to Austin in California. The next house, there were retired administrators whose children ended up moving to Dallas because of lack of economic opportunity. And by the 7th house, I learned about a narrative and a story within our community. I was learning that we had first generation being educated, and then we had the second generation who stood on those shoulders, and they grew so much, which is great, but they outgrew their city. And I wanted to come to you today because now as a 32-year-old with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and not only my children, I think about all the children in Bronzeville. According to the United States Census Bureau, there are 45,000 children under the age of 14 in Bronzeville, Texas. And we have to get moving, because the moment that we do not find and create economic opportunities, we are failing 45,000 children who will outgrow this city. And I would love for them to stay here. And how will we do that? Is by what we do today. Let's write letters, emails to every single startup, business, and company in the United States and across the world. Let's let them know what Bronzeville has to offer. We are a city with so much capability and so many resources to tailor to different sectors. And I just wanted to come on here and state these facts and state my concern that I fear that we will fail 45,000 families living in Bronzeville if we don't get moving today. That is all that I'm trying to come on here, give some statistics, and share my concern. And thank you very much for what you do. And we hope that we can collaborate together to start writing letters, emails, and having those conversations with CEOs across the world and let them know that Bronzeville is open for business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And believe me, we're working on it. We are working on that very hard. It's also our job is to create jobs and provide economic possibilities for new startups, existing companies and stuff like that. And we really have it close to our heart. But thank you for your comments. Appreciate it.
Next item. Closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.074, related to Executive Director and CEO. Closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code 551.071 and 551.074 related to the Director of Operations and Strategic Partnerships. Closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.074 related to the Director of Workforce and Business Development. We need a motion to go into
Yeah,
executive.
do we have anybody else at any public periods so that we don't have them say wait? Okay, I need a motion to move to executive session.
I make the motion.
Second.
All in a discussion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, we're moving into executive session. Okay, we're all back. I need a motion to start, open the meeting again.
Second.
Aye.
The open meeting is reconvened.
Next item, consideration and action, if any, including but not limited to the adoption of board resolutions related to the items discussed in executive session. Executive Director, CEO, Director of Operations and Strategic Partnerships, and Director of Workforce and Business Development.
So no action on item 1. Action 2 and 3 do need a motion.
I make sorry, go ahead, Ben.
Motion to approve as discussed in executive session.
Second. All those in favor as stated, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, the motion carries.
Next item, consideration and action, if any, of the following items. Acknowledgement regarding the payment of vendor services invoice to the Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation for the month of April and May 2024.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question regarding one of the payments on Research Consultants International for 25,000 lead generation program. What is that? Do we know?
On which one, I'm sorry? Research FDI?
Research Consultants International?
Okay, if it's Research FDI, we used them, we contracted them, I think, a couple of months ago on our trip to Berlin. They did some lead generation for us. They set up actually 3 meetings for us in Berlin. And in fact, I'm still talking to one of them that is interested in expanding into the US. The other 2, I've sent them emails and I sent them some PowerPoints on Brownsville, and they're still looking at those. In fact, I'm getting ready to schedule a Zoom meeting with that one individual in Berlin. So we were scheduled to go to Berlin this week, and because of the business commitments and everything else, we canceled that and the chairman approval. But we were going to meet with him in Berlin as well. So we do have an active one. We only use them during trips to foreign, but when Brett was still here, Brett had changed his opinion and was going to use them additionally in US trips as well. Initially, it was only going to be for FDI, foreign trips, but then he changed his mind. So that's probably something I'm going to ask the board how they want me to proceed with those, whether or not we do some additional. We also joined Team Texas here, I think last month. So we are going to be doing some trade shows and some trips with Team Texas. I don't know yet. I'm getting the schedule probably tomorrow or the next day. Team Texas also uses Research FDI for their meetings and their appointment setting. The way I looked at it, and this is all up to the new CEO, was that we could also use them as well whenever we go on those trips as well with Texas. What we used to do before is we would leave like maybe a day or 2 earlier and set up meetings for those days and then join Team Texas during the dates. or after, depending on when we could set up the appointments. But they are a,
So at this point, this is an active contract that
yes, sir. Yes,
has
sir.
not been fulfilled on their part, right?
Right, yeah, and they
Still
did
ongoing.
fulfill the first, I think and I don't remember exactly, but we do have a count of how many meetings they have to set up. So there is a matrix in there for them to work on.
And it's,
Yes, ma'am.
so it says fixed fees, so the meetings is what we paid for. Is there another payment or is 25,000 it?
It's 25,000. The meetings, depending on the quality of the meetings, is the extra that we sometimes pay, but I think it's like 1,000 per meeting, more or less, an average. But I have to check the contract to make sure.
So
And I can get back, I can send you an email on that.
do you think that it's more than 25,000?
No, it's not gonna be more than 25,000, but it is on a the other ones are on a per meeting. And let me make sure I read the contract before I get back to you on that. It might be better off that I do.
With New Realm, the monthly retainer for branding monthly. On
You might
4/30.
want to.
You have a charge here for New Realm.
New Realm?
Did we not get out of that agreement?
I
We
don't.
cancel that agreement?
That's-
Alexa didn't feel that they were doing a good job?
So we did put a stop. Yeah,
Yes, we did. That was the last payment that wasn't acknowledged at the
Right.
previous board meeting, but payments since then have not been processed for New Realm.
all right.
So this would be the last payment we see for these guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion, we got a second to acknowledge the payments. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, the acknowledgement carries.
Next item, Greater Brownsville Staff Report, Business Retention and Expansion and Workforce Development Efforts, Marketing and Communication Strategic Efforts, Business Recruitment. Business Retention and Expansion and Workforce Efforts by Giovanna Rangel.
Good afternoon, board members. So in the past 2 weeks, these are the focuses that these are the things that I've been focusing on. So Mueller, All-Star Metals, and Rich Products, those are all employers that are wanting training. Based on the BRE visits that I've done in the past, a lot of them are wanting to do training in leadership, ESL, CNC, OSHA. We have some that want to do mechanics and things like that. So what I've been doing is making sure that I have meetings with our workforce partners. So TSCC, TSC, TEEX, and of course, Workforce Cameron. So I set up these meetings in these past 2 weeks, and I made sure to let them know that we're here to support the employers. We have a couple of them that are interested in training, and so we're going to move forward in making sure we put a curriculum together that make sure that it focuses on on their needs. A lot of them, actually, Mueller is not currently hiring, so it's a perfect timing for them to start training. They're wanting to do them in groups of 5. And so this is something that TEEX is definitely able to do and, cater to their needs. So we're going to be moving forward in the next couple of weeks and putting something together for them. I also set up a meeting with Carling Technologies. I know Carla was working with them, since the beginning when they announced that they were going to be closing. So I checked in on them and I met with the plant manager. As of July 18, they will be letting go of another 18 people. They're scheduled to close the facility by the end of the year. So our plan is to support them, from here to July to ensure that these 18 employees that are going to be let go, we, ask for resumes, do maybe like a little interview, and then fix them together with an employer that is looking for those types of qualifications. As you know, as previous reporting that I've had, we do have expansion, projects going on. And there is employers that need these type of people, tooling expertise. They need CNC operators, things like that. So I do know that, we can assist them in that sense. They are working closely with Workforce Cameron as well, so that the employees that are being let go have the support from them. So additionally, the building is for sale. So we requested more information as to, what is going for, things like that, to see if maybe it's a good fit for any of our clients that are looking for space. I attended the CTE certification pinning ceremony for the EMT and PCT. This was last week, and, I was there to support the graduates and, just make sure that CTE knows that we're there supporting them moving forward. LNG Education Subcommittee is something that, we are involved in. So this committee is actually very helpful because I was able to have every single education partner in the room. And again, I introduced myself as now BRE and leading workforce development, and, making sure that I get up to date as to what's going on and how we can continue to assist them. And we don't skip a beat. BPUB Water and Wastewater Facility Tour. This is something that Eliasar, Jerry, Alexa, and myself attended. This is, we try to participate in these tours because for us, it's very important to know what goes on behind the scenes, right? It was really cool to go and visit the different facilities they have here in Brownsville, and of course, support our utility partners. And that is it for these past 2 weeks. Anyone have any questions for me?
Questions, guys?
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ms. Rangel. Next item, Marketing and Communication Strategic Efforts by Alexa Perez.
Good afternoon, board members. So we hosted Space Fest, the first ever space theme festival here in Brownsville. I saw a few of you there. It was really fun. Can you click again, Marlene? I think there's a video. I don't know if the video is gonna play. It didn't? No? Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, so I'm very proud to say that, we partnered with Visit Brownsville, the Brownsville Convention and Visitors Bureau for this event. And it was really successful. It was basically 4 blocks in downtown Brownsville and a huge parking lot. We had over 10,000 attendees and over 200 vendors. So one of the things that I did notice during the event, and I think all of us had the opportunity to see, it was that this event, along with the mural, helped us to improve a little bit of the brand perspective. And not only from the business partners that are already familiar with us, but also to the main audience, which is the Brownsville community. Because during that event, we don't know if some of the general plan managers were there. We don't know if there were a few CEOs spending some quality time with their family. And I think it was a really good opportunity to put the brand and our name, especially there. Of course, we maximize the brand impact. And we didn't achieve because it's just part of the goals, right? I think this is continuous of building a closer relationship with the community. I don't know if some of you, which of you attended or who missed it, but honestly, it was really, really fun. As of today, we still continue getting a lot of messages from the community and some people that they didn't even know about GBIC, and now they know who we are. All of them fighting to get one of our t-shirts, a fanny pack, a cap, right? Can you please go to the next slide, Marlene? And let me show you a little bit of the impact that we have had. So for example, for the Space Fest, we had a 1-month marketing campaign. And if you notice on the above, for the Facebook following and the Instagram following that we had under these past, just during 1 month, the Facebook follows increased by 779. And the Instagram follows increased by 287 new followers. Now, the day of the event, if you notice, just by the event, just by sharing, just by promoting our hashtag and our social media in all of the things that were around the festival, we had 84 new followers on Facebook and 79 new followers on Instagram. just the day of the festival, but just promoting the hashtag, but just promoting the brand, of course, right? And one of the things that I did notice, and it's been the thing that I think we've been wanting to promote, is that yes, I mean, Giovanna has been doing a great job with the BRE and the workforce. And also, I know that we have a future workforce. There's also a future workforce there in the high schools, in the colleges, in the middle schools. And we wanted to increase the audience to be a little bit more younger as well. In that way, we can focus on the young workforce or the future workforce and also on the current workforce that we have. So we noticed a peak and an increase. If you see at the bottom on the Facebook followers and Instagram followers, now we have a new audience, which is between the age range of 25 to 34 years old. Actually in the past, it was mainly between 35 and 54 years old, which we understand that probably those are the managing partners or the partners that we currently have. But now having this new audience, it opens the doors for us, so that now the future workforce can know about us, and maybe, we don't know, maybe in the future we can have scholarships or other type of conferences or summits in which they can benefit from them, right? You go to the next one. So I just wanted to give you, those are just a few pictures. We honestly had over 600 pictures, which we will be posting during this week on Facebook, because there are a lot. But I just wanted to give you a quick recap of these past 4 months. This past week, a week and a half, it's my 4 months here in GBIC. And the new vision that I brought for the marketing is, yes, in economic development, but emphasizing innovation and community engagement. So some of the short-term achievements that we have had during these past 4 months is that we recently won a marketing award, 4 communicator awards, and 4 Hermes awards that I'll be presenting more in detail in the next board meeting. And those are related to the new brand strategies that we are promoting and the new brand refresh, as well as the brand journalism for GBIC. Now, we recently won one Workforce Excellence Award for Rally in the Valley. I know that Joanna will be explaining a little bit more in the next board meeting. Now, we increased in brand awareness, which is on and offline. What do I mean by this? I mean online, in which the followers, everything that you see with metrics, the analytics on social media, but at the same time, the offline, that in the past, we have never seen any member of the community that is not related to the industries that we manage, wearing one of the caps, wearing one of the T-shirts, or knowing about what is Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. And now we're able to see it. And of course, as I mentioned, we had 10,000 attendees during this past event, but that's just a portion of the entire Brownsville community, and hopefully the entire Rio Grande Valley. Hopefully we see that in the future couple of months, that all of them knows about what is Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. Now we had the first mural done by an EDC, and we have the first of its kind space theme festival. Now what's gonna be upcoming, as we all are aware, of course, there were many changes on the marketing side, and now that we don't have any more barriers to move forward with newsletter, with a website, with a new company, of course, we're gonna be moving forward finally with that. And there's gonna be intense advertising. I appreciate the incredible support that Jerry has provided me, and he approved everything. So you're gonna see our brand in the next couple of weeks: billboards, TV, radio, YouTube, advertising in Mexico, and advertising in Monterrey as well. And of course, more community engagement events. Please let us know if you have any idea, if there's any concern, anything that you would like for us to host, let us know, because we wanna go strong, we wanna go aggressive in these areas, of course, on promoting the leadership, promoting the workforce, promoting the innovation that GBIC has, and as Commissioner Macias said, for the community to know that we are here for them and that we're not gonna fail them. Do you have any questions?
I do. On the billboards, the intense advertising upcoming, that's strictly for GBIC, is that correct? Yes. Okay, you don't like advertise the airport or anything like that?
No, I mean, this is of course for GBIC, but this, I mean, doesn't mean that we cannot do it, because in order for us to attract other companies, we need to show them the quality of life, and we need to show them the advantages they will have here by coming to Brownsville. So yes, if it is part of the plan, if you want me to show, we have the 5 ports of entry, including the airport, the port, we definitely can do that.
And we are looking, and I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt. We are looking at doing some things with the airport now that they have an airport director. There's a trip coming up in later July that we had already registered for, which is the Farnborough Aerospace Show in London. And it was going to be myself, Brett, and Angel Ramos, the airport director. So it's going to be myself and Angel attending that. But the city's going to pay for his expenses. We may have to do a little juggling on the flight there to get him there. But I'll bring that up to the board before we do that.
No, who said, who's going to London now?
Angel Ramos, he's the airport director, the new one. I think he's been there a couple of months, and myself.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So why would you have to
And
do
we're
some
going,
juggling?
I'm sorry?
Why would you have to do some juggling?
Oh, we may have to assist him on the flight expenses. The city can do and this came through Miss Helen. We would take him along, which makes sense, right? Because it is aviation. He's able to pay for his hotel and his meals, but he needed assistance because of the expense on the airport. I mean, on the flights. But we're still researching the flights because we're going through GBIC again, which is that Transatlantic Business Investment Council. So they're trying to see they can make some arrangements for us to get us some lower rates. So we're kind of looking at
And
those.
you are leaving out of Brownsville?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We always do.
Okay.
Like, on the event I was there, was very successful. I was very proud to be part of GBIC and seeing how successful it was. A great job, guys. I just want to tell you all. And I know you all were working really, really hard out there. I saw you sweating. So I know. And I thought it was an amazing event. I thought you guys did a really great job. I think the next step is leveraging that to somehow connecting these people with jobs. The one thing that I didn't see out there was like more, industry partners, things like that want to give their cards to people, because as I looked around, the one thing I told my wife as we're walking, like, imagine every one of these people made 20, 25 bucks an hour. Like, just imagine. And the crowd was a mix, you know. I saw guys that I know from SpaceX out there, and then I saw people that I know from the port that are working out there at the rigs. And so that was really interesting. And it was, how do we leverage that to the next, finding the jobs, having that database? Because eventually, I think if this stuff goes the way that you plan it to go, right now, the people that come knocking on our doors are usually CEOs, people looking for, if you get enough momentum going, it might be the guy that is looking for a welding job or something like that. Having that repository for him to go to and say, oh, you do this? Well, here are the people you can go to. You know, I really want us to get set up for that, because that event was really great. I thought it was awesome. And now it's just, how do we keep that momentum going? But I thought, great job, guys. For the first time, I was super impressed at how well it was done. So good job.
Yes, it was great. We had several commissioners that thought it was fantastic, and Commissioner Roy de los Santos is like, you know, so he came up and he said, so Jerry, when's the next one? So we're looking possibly at October, since it's Space Month. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. And but we're going to do some recapping with the Commissioner de los Santos. So maybe we can invite some of the board members as well. But that's a great point, though. That is a great point. We'll make
Yes,
sure to put that in.
and thank you so much for letting me know, because in that way you gave me a new challenge. So I'll work on a new solution for that, and I think we can do something amazing. And one of the great things is that I think we all can agree, when we were helping the vendors, and because I mean, when we stayed there at the end, you know, to clean and all that, most of the vendors, they were like really happy. Well, I will say all of them, right? That we asked questions, and they were saying to thank you so much. All of them say that has been the best event in which they have been so far. Most of them sold out, and I will say the average, because they were telling us how much they got approximately, and the average was at least $5,000 during that single night. So we were very happy for them as well. And we even had like people coming from Donna, from Edinburgh, from McAllen. And honestly, I didn't know, because you only see that they put the RGV on their name, like Tacos y Mariscos, the RGV or something like that. So we thought they were from Brownsville, but no. So, I mean, in that way, we were very happy. because we got the opportunity to support them, and now we want to do that, of course, for our biggest partners.
So that was your idea, right? That's awesome. Thank you. That I agree with everything everybody said. It was incredible. I heard a lot of people saying they wanted to go. So even before seeing how cool it was, people were already really interested. So you did a good job promoting it. But then I noticed some of the Instagram posts were with the Visit Brownsville, which is the CV,
Yes,
right?
we partner with them, correct? So we
Okay.
put a percentage, of course, of the total cost, and they pay another thing. And I think we just divided the assignments, right? Basically, because they have experience working with vendors in the past. So they assisted a lot with the vendors.
It's great that you're able to work together. And then also along those lines, I know Diane Garza is on the Texas Commission on the Arts. I don't know if she's reached out, but she wanted a narrative so she could report it to the governor.
I just sent it to her.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we
It's one of the ways
spoke
to
Yes.
leverage
To
it.
Council Judith, she was with her, and she introduced me to her, and then I said, okay, hold on, let me introduce you to Alexa. So,
Perfect.
so yeah, she was real nice person. She said, send me all this information. We want to link it at the state level, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes,
Hopefully
and I
it'll
reached out to her this morning, and I sent her the narrative, and as well like a post event follow-up, providing all, of course, the analytics.
I'm sure it'll
And-
get the attention of other people at the state level, not just that commission, you know? It'll help the mission of GBIC. So that's great. Thank you, all of you.
I can, wait a minute, let me say my piece too. I can only agree with what everybody says, and I was amazed as well. And I was in your office in the afternoon, thinking I need to get out of here. These people need to get to work. It was full of boxes. How you ever got them there in time, I don't know. But fantastic job, all of you. Really, really proud of it. And as Frank says, this is a stepping stone. It can be used for so many things, for promoting ours, schools, jobs, whatever. Great job. Thank you very much.
So the next one is in October, did you say?
Wait. So, we
We're
say
putting her
that,
on the spot.
so we say we wanted to do it annually, because, I mean, that's the goal. But then, oh my God, I mean, the vendors, the community, because you will see I mean, one of the fascinating things is that you will not only see the parents having fun, but you will see the parents with their kids having fun, dancing, and then dancing a lot, yeah, and then with all the balloons and with all the entertainment that we had at the event. So a lot of them, they were approaching to us and telling us like, are you gonna have a second one? Like, it's probably gonna be annual, but then a second one. So I was talking to Yuri and to Commissioner Macias, and I told them, okay, we might have an excuse to do a second one during the year, because October is a space month. But either we can do that, or of course, another space innovative initiative, right? So let me plan and I'll let you know. But I mean, sure, of course, it will be amazing to have a second one this year. But I mean, either we do that or we another activity. But of course, space month, which is October, it will be amazing to do something like this. But yeah, I mean, with me, I already told Yuri, come with me. I want to do this will be amazing to do it annually. Because I think not only the community deserves it, but also GBIC deserves it.
When I was there, I had at least, I think, 4 of the commissioners come and say, come on, guys, we need one more. We need that twice a year.
Yes.
So
Yes,
everybody was fantastic.
They were
Again,
telling
thank you.
us, yes. And I think after this, I will need just to have a conversation with Will, because it's really important for us to trademark the logo and trademark some of the initiatives in the slogan that we added. So for that, I don't know if that has to go through you or what will be the process, but yeah. And just a really quick, short things, I'm sorry, in the next slide. I really would like to make a decision about this. I don't know if you would like for me to incorporate this into an agenda item, or if you have any comments right now. You know, the previous CEO decided to just be called by Greater Brownsville, but we noticed that all of the community, they know us by GBIC, right? Just Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. And it's been very hard, because we even noticed at the day of the event, when we were handing out the baseball caps or the funny packs, they were asking, cool, Greater Brownsville, like, is this part of the city? Are you like a nonprofit? Like, they had questions. But when you include the full name at the bottom, it's a little bit easier, of course, to recognize. But we don't want to make that decision. Right now, we haven't ordered any other swag. I mean, we would like to get your input. If you want to continue, at least the logo, because of course the legal name is complete, right? Greater Brownsville Incentives Corporation. But at least the logo, because I really want to know what to put on our business cards, what to put on those, on that swag, on the letterheads. I don't know if you need some time to think
And
about it.
I've gotten a
Yes.
lot of, when I'm traveling and actually here in Brownsville as well, where business people, so Greater Brownsville, what? And it's kind of, well, we're the Economic Development Corporation. I said, okay, so you're the old incentive corporation, GBIC? So we've gotten quite a few of, why don't you just call yourselves what you used to call yourselves? Because everybody knows you that way. But that's not something that we wanted to decide on. That was something that we felt was more.
I think our full name is Greater Brownsville Intensive Corporation, but it would be kind of nice if we could get Economic Development Incorporated somewhere, because Greater Brownsville and Intensive Corporation, it doesn't really tell people what we do.
We would need to change our name though, because what you're just asking for is what we name, what we put.
Yeah. So we're incorporated as Greater Brownsville
Yeah, I mean,
Incentive
that could
Corporation.
be in other marketing, but.
Yeah, what I'm asking is more like about the visual part, right? What will the community, what will the audience will see? Like I understand about the legal name, correct, but,
What about, like on your, at one point, didn't you, when you were doing like a flyer or something, when you first started, it was like like a few words, like, I don't know if it was longer phrases, but like jobs, you know,
yes,
Empowerment.
things like that. Like if you put that underneath that, that might be helpful, because I think it's important that for the branding purposes for the community, it's important that they know it's jobs, because
yes.
jobs, everybody understands what that is.
Or like maybe instead of, so what I'm understanding is that maybe instead of putting the full name to put Greater Brownsville and then at the bottom,
No,
and
I like,
more like the slogan, more like something related
I
to
like
it?
the full name, but
I like the full name.
you're the expert.
I like the.
I like the full name, but it would be nice, like the chairman said, that if it also said something about not just economic development, but jobs, like so people like in words that people can understand.
Like in summary, what we do, right?
Yeah.
Our services.
Personally, I like the one on the bottom. I think you can have a small logo just for different things. And then that's your function in marketing. So probably for formal or for certain presentations, you use the full name, and for certain and for other ones, you could use an abbreviated.
Like a shorter version.
Yes, yes.
I like using the full name.
The what?
The full name.
Me too.
So abbreviated as GBIC.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. But.
So
but
nobody
for-
else asks, what is GBIC ever
Yeah,
again?
But for terms of like putting on our cards, we put incentive corporation on that.
Yeah, it's like you have the full name in the beginning and then you can abbreviate it later on going down. But it'd be nice if we get some jobs, education, development somewhere
Okay.
inserted in there, because for the greater population, Greater Brownsville, what?
I think when you do a brochure, that's when you use,
Yeah.
for your cards, you're gonna use this as your logo. And then for the other one, you can use the items that you can touch.
But for,
No,
pur-
give us more suggestions. I mean, this is good, absolutely.
but for purposes
On the
of
right.
giving her direction, are we all?
The ones on the right.
Incentive corporation? Yeah,
Is
the
that
right.
what?
Okay.
Full name.
Yeah, for the, giving you direction.
Does everybody like that last one down the bottom on the right-hand side, that corner?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
Right? I think that's a good looking one.
Everybody?
Good one.
I think that was
Bottom
my
right.
last one, correct? Yes. Okay,
Bottom
thank you.
right is kind of the consensus you're looking
Full
at.
name. Okay, correct. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Perez.
Good.
Next item, business recruitment by Jerry Briones.
So these last 2 weeks were a little on the slow side from the state. In fact, we didn't get any through the state, but we did get 4 inquiries. Of the 4 inquiries, we sent 2 over to the port because they were energy related. And they are working on those, and they do keep me in the loop. In fact, I have a Zoom with one of the companies later this week in regards to some items, some questions they had. The other 2 that we're still in discussions with, and they actually want to take down space at the industrial park. One is looking for 10 acres, and the other is looking between 15 to 20 acres. They're, they are being represented by a realtor out of Dallas. And I told him we're probably about 12, maybe 16 months away from actually being able to go vertical. And he said, I can wait. So we do have some interest. There's also another company that we've been working with for a while. We had shown them some sites, and they're still interested on that particular site because it has all the requirements that they need, and more importantly, all the infrastructure, or most of the infrastructure. But they also kind of said, okay, well, look, if we can't handle this, can we look at what you got coming? So those are just some projects that we have on the burner there.
Jerry, when
Yes, sir.
we're referring these companies to the port, do we continue to keep up with them in terms of, or does
Yes, sir.
come to us for additional incentives?
Yeah, we do. Most of them, so the energy, well, a lot of that interest is because of the Infrastructure
Yeah.
Reduction Act. They're all trying to get some of that money. But what the port's been doing is, hey, look, show us your financials before, because if you're going to say, well, I want to reserve this 100 acres or whatever it is, but you got to wait for the grant to come through, well, we've got other projects as well. So, but the short answer is yes, we still do, because one, the port likes to include us because some of those are through the state, and the state is, you know, they work through GBIC because we are the primary economic development organization. So if they have a complaint or they have something, they'll go through us to make sure that we refer it to someone over at the port, or somebody's taking care of something over there. So, so yes, sir, we do maintain cooperation between us. Sorry. Oh, and then, so I did two, actually, so we met last week on Friday or Thursday with COSTEP. They had a quick tour roundtable of a Indian delegation from India, obviously, right? And they were down here. We gave them a full-blown, on the bottom picture from the top on the bottom. We had Jason Wolf from NOAA Link. The port was there. The county was there. Harlingen EDC was there. And we kind of just gave them an overview of the lower valley. That was in the morning, because after lunch, they were going to be in the upper valley in Hidalgo County. I did get a request from the gentleman in the middle next to me. He runs a foundation with the other gentleman in India for startups, and they've been around for a while. They represent quite a few startups, and he wanted to know if I would be a guest speaker at a conference that they're having in September in India. They did give me a brochure, and they gave me some other information, which I'll bring to the board so you all can decide whether it'd be a good opportunity. It may be. And then on the right-hand side, Elazar and I went to ICSC in Las Vegas. We did meet with a couple of brokers up there that were interested. And we also had a couple of meetings with some CRM systems and some EDOs that we may be looking at, trying to see how we can incorporate them into our statistics and market analysis. That's all I have for now. And buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Next item, discussion, consideration, and action to create a bylaws and personnel handbook committee and CEO transition committee by Chairman Anker Jensen.
Yeah, the idea is to establish a transition committee, and we talked about it, and we agreed that this committee, transition committee, will consist of Liliana, Dr. Joe, and Gerardo. We also discussed a committee to take a look at our bylaws and our employee manual. And we agreed that this committee will consist of Frank, Ben, and Anna. And they all agreed to take off these positions. And they're going to get with Will to make sure they do it correctly.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, the motion passes.
Next item, discussion and action, if any, on resolution number R 2024-03, updating of signatories for bank accounts and related matter by Salvador Villalpando.
Good evening, Board. So this resolution is to update the authorized signers. Through this resolution, we would remove Brett as a signer and add Jerry and myself. And this is essentially to be able to sign on any checks that we process. We're asking the board to adopt this resolution.
You ask us to approve that you get on the check signage when Jerry gets on.
Yes, sir. And
Would that be one or two signatures?
so that can be your, if you want to have it to where you would require one signature from the GBIC office and one board member, we can do that. If you're okay with having two signatures within the GBIC office, we can do that as well. It's dependent on the board.
No. Question.
Yes.
What do you say, Ben?
You do the bank reconciliations?
I do not. Currently, the city of Brownsville does the bank recons.
I'm sorry?
The city of Brownsville is the one doing the bank recons right now.
Okay, but you review them and approve?
I don't have, no. Well, no, I don't, to answer your question.
So who's doing the accounting entry, you or the city?
The city of Brownsville.
So at this point, you're not doing any accounting functions related to journal entries or?
I do not have
recording any
access,
transactions?
just view only.
Okay, so you only have view only, per se?
View only, yes, sir.
Okay, and they do all the book entry?
Yes, they do.
Okay, good. Then I'm okay. I would have a problem if he's doing
Yeah, he's
the
doing the
accounting and
reconciliation
signing
while signing
checks,
the checks,
because that's a overlap in segregation of duties. But if they're doing it still, then that's okay. And at some point, when you do take over, you can't be a
Okay.
bank signer. Yeah.
Noted.
But the way it's set up right now, you'll be fine.
Okay. And this is mainly to solve the issue whenever we print checks, sometimes we run into being able to get two signatures on a timely basis. So it's mainly to fix that issue.
Noted.
So again, you're asking for you to get a signature and Jerry to get a signature on our checking account. One on one, I mean, only one signature on the check? Or two?
It's for two in the resolution that's in here.
Huh?
So the checks that we print require two signatures.
Okay, all right.
Through this resolution, we would have 5 authorized signers. It's myself, Jerry, Mr. Jensen, Mr. Gonzalez, and Dr. Hinojosa.
Yeah, so
Okay.
normally we follow the policy or mirror the policy that the city of Brownsville uses. So
Okay.
It's a 2 signature requirement, so.
All right. So I need a motion to accept his request.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, the motion passes.
Next item, discussion and action, if any, on resolution R 2024-04, amending Greater Brownsville Investment and Strategy Statement Policy.
So through this resolution here, we're amending the investment policy, specifically the investment officers. So currently the policy has the executive director and finance manager as investment officers. We would be amending it to include Jerry's position, deputy executive director and COO, being that we currently don't have an executive director.
Run that by us again.
So currently our investment policy has 2 investment officers. It's the executive director, which we currently do not have one, and then a finance manager. So I'm asking that we update the policy to add Jerry's position, which is deputy executive director and COO.
Yes, so you're just adding another certifying investment officer, which is fine. We need it.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody's good with that? Okay, I need a motion to accept.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes has the motion passes.
Thank you.
Next item, closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.087, and 551.072 related to Project Industrial. Closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and and 551.072 and 551.087 related to Project Fiber. Closed session pursuant to the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071 and 551.072 related to the possible purchase of real property, Workforce Solution, Cameron, 851 Old Alice Road.
Make a motion to convene into executive session.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Ayes have, motion passes. We're back in executive.
For me? For me? That's all right. Everybody share?
No, Liliana, no. Yo? Oh, thank you. More to sign? Oh, Jeff. Everybody here? No? Um, I'm looking for a motion to resume the open meeting.
I make a motion to resume.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes, carries. We're back in open meeting.
Next item, consideration and action, if any, including but not limited to the adoption of board resolutions related to the items discussed in executive session. Project Industrial, Project Fiber, Real Property Workforce Solution CAM.
Item 1, Project Industrial did have action that needs to be taken.
I make a motion to approve the action item, number 1.
Just executive
Yeah,
session.
as discussed. Thank you, Mr. Lawyer.
Item, excuse me. All right.
I'll second that motion.
I have a motion and a second to 1.1. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, motion passes.
Item 2, there was no action. And just for the record, Mr. Orozco, Ms. O'Quinn, Mr. Gonzalez had to abstain from the discussion for item 2. And then item 3, no action.
Okay, do I need a motion to accept that?
There's no.
Sorry.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Can I just, real
Wait-
quick,
Wait a minute.
Just one last little thing. And this is on me. We have a new intern. Her name is Jasmine Rocha. She's here for the summer from the University of Texas McComb Business School. She's only been here a week?
2 weeks.
2. And she's had a great impact on our operations. She was indispensable at Space Fest, and she's just one of these go getters that she's just been amazing to work with. Real nice young lady, and I think all our staff will tell you the same thing.
Welcome on board. Hope you have a good time and learning lots of stuff.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My motion's still there.
Adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, we are adjourned.